In her 2012 album, Alanis Morissette gave herself permission to be, permission to slow, do the only things that matter to me. Well, thanks for that, Alanis. The only thing that matters to me on a Monday morning is Monday Matters, right here on Gary's Stuff. Hi there, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you've been here before. Today is indeed Monday Matters. As usual, I'll be looking at some of the news from the modern making world. I'll be checking out what I've been up to on the bench. And of course, I'll be introducing this week's kit of the week. All these bits come as chapters. You can hop backwards and forwards as your heart desires. If you like anything you see on my channel, please do remember, Imperial thumbs up on the like button below because every like counts. And if you haven't done so yet, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that bell and you'll see all my videos as they are released. And of course, if you want to offer a bit more concrete support, you can do that through Super Thanks by becoming a channel member or through joining any of my online partner programs. Now, before we carry on with the news of the week, I just wanted to give a shout out to the guys and gals down at the Harrow Modelling Society. They have their meeting on the third Thursday of every month. This Thursday is coming up, indeed. I'll be down there. Just pop along and say hi. If you recognise me, if you don't recognise me, come and say hi anyway, because as you would with anyone who's relatively new, it's only my second meeting, but I'll be bringing some stuff down. I will definitely bring down the pink Spitfire, probably the Ice Cold in Alex Katie diorama, maybe the Panther that I've just done, the Grumman Panther for the 48-hour build, a few other bits and pieces, just a selection of stuff to have a look at and to chat about. So really looking forward to that. If any of you are watching, I'll see you on Thursday night. Looking forward to it enormously. Looking forward to some tea and cake enormously. So enough of that. Let's crack on and have a look at this week's news from the model making world. Coterie has a new special edition of their hugely popular 1/32 scale Spitfire kit, this one dedicated to Squadron Leader Brian Lane DFC, featuring his aircraft from the Battle of Britain and a figure of the pilot. Lane wrote one of the very few contemporary autobiographical accounts of the Battle of Britain, originally under the pseudonym B.J. Allen. With 6 kills to his credit and other possibles, he was listed as missing in action after combat over the North Sea in December 1942. Sova M has this 1/72 scale kit of the T600 jet trainer from Beechjet in Japanese service. The companion releases of the T1A Jayhawk trainer and the Beechjet 400 business aircraft are, as you can see, coming very soon. From Wolf 3D comes this new Pilatus PC7 trainer in 1/72nd, 1/48th and 1/32nd scales, initially in the colours of the Austrian Air Force. This was one of the very first turboprop advanced trainers and sold to over 20 air forces. Yamamoto Model Parts has 2 1/48 scale resin sets of the Ruhrstahl X4 missiles as fielded by the Me-262, Focke 190 and others. Great for fans of the late war German fighter. VFR Models has 3 new kits of the Cessna 172 light aircraft in the early, late and mid-production variants. Now, light aircraft may not be your thing, but arguably this is the most successful aircraft design in history. In production since 1956, over 44,000 of these have been built and the production line is still running. Talk about a classic. And talking of classics, AMT has a couple of new American classics in their 1/25th scale range. First is the 1967 Chevrolet Chevelle in the SS396 body, which featured a 375 horsepower V8 engine, turbo hydromatic transmission, superlift air dampers, and Strata Ease headrests. Why can't we use names like that these days? There's also the 1970 Buick Wildcat, the last year in which this 455 cubic inch, that's 7.4 litre V8 monster was produced. shown here in the 4-door hardtop design. Now, suppose you just shelled out £200 or £300 on the Trumpeter 1/200th scale Scharnhorst and found the detail a bit lacking. Well, Mark I designers come to the rescue with this immense detail pack. It contains 21 sheets, yes, 21 sheets of photo etch, 95 brass parts, including things like gun barrels, 161 3D printed resin parts, there's some anchor chain, and a full wooden deck, among other things. Should come with shares in the superglue factory, but it doesn't. Okay, so it is another £300 or so on top of the price you paid for the kit, but if you can manage to put all this together properly, you'll end up with a museum quality build when you're done. And finally today, if space is your thing, then there are some new upgrades coming onto the market. Here, Mos Eisley Model Works has a detail set for the AMT 1/43rd scale X-Wing fighter, including resin engines, upper and rear panels, the cockpit, R2 series robot and pilot figure, as well as metal laser cannon barrels. 308 Bits has a range of detail sets for the 1/72nd scale AMT Razor Crest, including controls, cockpit rear wall, rest area and engine nozzles. And from those of us for a slightly more distant time, some detail sets for the Bandai Shadow Interceptor from the series UFO, including cockpit, engine bay detail, landing gear, and of course the all-important torpedo. All of these 308 Bits sets are available through Shapeways. On my bench this week, I have had the Airfix 1/72nd scale F-35B Lightning, the new starter set. New starter set? Yeah, it is a very good starter set, I have to say. If I were with someone at an air show, they'd seen an F-35 fly for the first time, they came across the Airfix tent and said, "Oh, I fancy making that. I've never made a kit before. Is it easy to do?" I'd say absolutely get yourself one of these. I enjoyed making it. Is it a great kit for the F-35? No, there's a few doors that should be opened that don't open in hover mode in particular. There's some pretty big decals that are missing. But overall, for a starter set, and remember that's what it's marketed as, I think it's really good. 20 quid, is that steep? Well, these days, probably not. Will it put people off? Maybe, maybe not. But I think it's a lovely introduction to modelling. Current aircraft, so on all the airshow circuit, on the TV shows like Warship, the thing about warships recently, about the Queen Elizabeth on her cruise to the Far East. It's constantly going to be in the news. It's an aircraft that's going to be around for a long, long time. And so, yeah, well done them. I think it's a good kit, goes well together. Love the cockpit canopy as usual. Clicks into place. Have a look at the video. If you haven't already, have a look at the video. It's quite a lot to it. But yeah, it's a lovely build. I really enjoyed it. I've also been working on my MiG-21. Now, it hasn't shown up yet because I'm waiting for paint for the interior. If you've done Soviet aircraft of that era, 50s, 60s, 70s era, you'll know the interior colour paint is a very particular kind of emeraldy turquoise colour. Now, the one I have, the Vallejo one, isn't the same as the colour that's on the pre-painted photo etch that Edward gives you, but I've found some paint which I think is much closer, and that is arriving very soon, along with some more metal colours and also the radome green for the nose. So that's kind of held up production on that. That's still going ahead, so do keep an eye out on the channel for that. That brings me, of course, to what I will be building in the week for certain, and that is this week's kit of the week. And the kit of the week this week is going to be this, the FX Bristol Beaufighter in 1/72nd scale. This is one of the kits that Nick sent me recently, so thank you very much, Nick. Box opening video is already done and will be up tomorrow, which is Tuesday. As usual, bit of history of the aircraft, look at the other kits that are available, and of course what you get in the box. And the build video will be up towards the end of the week, probably Thursday. I'm aiming to have that up in. I'm doing mine in, I have the package that Nick sent me included an extra decal sheet of alternative markings for the aircraft. I've opted for a Coastal Command one, the all over white, with the upper surfaces in the Northern Temperate camouflage of extra dark sea grey and dark slate grey. It's that colour scheme. If you've seen my build of the Bristol Beaufort, the ICM Beaufort, it's a very similar colour scheme to that. That just had extra dark sea grey. This one's got the camouflage added to it. Anyway, I just love that look. I'll be doing a bit of weathering on it as well, because these things work hard, and they suffered for it in many ways in their looks. So rather than one freshly delivered from the painter, I'll be doing one that's maybe done a little bit of squadron service. That will be coming up later in this week. So that's what's happening. Do come back for all of that. If you need to know what's happening, do please remember, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. You'll get notified of everything as it comes up. And of course, if you like anything, Imperial thumbs up on the like button below, because every like counts. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again very soon. Take care. Goodbye.